All right, so we're going to be working on math lesson 57 today. Before you start, you want to make sure that you have read page 364 to page 366. And you should have a piece of paper so you can work some of these out with me so you have an example when you're doing your written practice. All right, so our first problem today is problem A on page 366 in your math book. And we're going to work this out step by step. So it first says Angela drove 55 miles in 1 hour. So we are going 55 miles in 1 hour. So one way of saying that is 55 miles per hour. That's what she's doing right now. At that rate, how far can she drive in 6 hours? And it says write an equation to solve the problem. Well, we know that in 1 hour she goes 55 miles. Oops. 1 hour. So in 2 hours she would go twice that, which would be 110 miles. So what are we doing here? What's happening? Well, it says here we need to write an equation. So we know that 1 times 55 is 55, and we know that 2 times 55 is 110. If you notice when I'm talking, I'm saying times. So I think we're going to be doing a multiplication problem. And it says write an equation. So we know that if I multiply the hours, because we showed that over here, if we multiply the hours times the distance traveled in an hour, we can find out how far they traveled in the total hours. So this equation would look like 55 miles times 6 hours, and that should give us how far she traveled in 6 hours if we solve that. So we're going to solve this problem over here. 55 times 6. Well, 6 times 5 is 30. We're going to carry our 3 tens to the tens column. 6 times 5 tens, or 6 times 5 is 30. But it would actually be 300 if you wrote it down here. But we need to add 3 more tens, so it's going to be 33 tens. So 55 times 6 is 330 miles. So our answer is going to be 330 miles. Now the question asks us to write an equation, so we're going to circle this whole thing here because this includes our equation. All right. Okay, for problem B, it says Barack swims 20 laps every day. So he's going 20 laps per day. So I'm going to write that as LPD, 20 laps per day. How many laps will he swim in 1 week? It says make a table to solve. Okay, so we're going to start by drawing a table. And we know that he can go 20 laps. I'm going to write this as laps up here for our table. And that's days. We'll write days. So in 1 day, he does 20 laps. In 2 days, well, he would do 20 laps plus 20 laps. So it's 20 plus 20. And that's going to be 40. So he does 40 laps in 2 days. And we could see from our last problem that we're going to have a multiplication thing going on here. 1 times 20 is for 1 day. 2 times 20 is for 2 days. This is 2 times 20. And then for 3 days, we would do 3 times 20, which gives me 60 laps. Now it says in 1 week. Well, how many days are in 1 week? So let's write this. Let's write 1 week equals 7 days. So I need my table to go all the way to 7. So we're going to do 4, 5, 6. I don't really have room, so I'll add another row. 7. So we're going to make these rows here. All right. So we know that for 7, we're just going to do 7 times 20. 7 times 2 is 14 with 1 0 makes it 140. So he does 140 laps in the week or in 7 days. We're going to go ahead and fill these up in the rest of the way. We know that this is going to be 4 times 20 right here, 5 times 20 right here, 6 times 20 right here. Or we can count by 20s. I notice there's a pattern here, 20, 40, 60. I wonder if that would be 80, and then we've got 100 and 120. So our answer is going to be 140 days. This is our answer. So we're going to write, how many laps will he swim in 1 week? So he does 140 laps. Oops. Laps in 1 week. And that's our answer, but it also wants us to draw a table. So I'm going to circle my table too, because that's part of my answer. All right, there you go. And that is all for lesson 57.